Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve G, and what we have this time is the Shigeki Tanaka Majiro Ginsan Gyuto 210mm knife from Chef Knives to Go. This is an all stainless blade, so this has what's known as Ginsan or Ginsanko or G3 or Silver 3, all stainless steel. It's typically around 60 to 61 Rockwell. It's a great stainless steel. It's easy to sharpen, fine grained. It's a conventional stainless steel, but excellent. It'll get really stinking sharp if you do your part. The construction has stainless cladding on either side of that. I'll have to show you in a close-up. The cladding line is kind of faint, so it's a little hard to tell. You can probably, you can kind of catch it there a little bit. It's a little hard to tell, but it is there. These babies are really skinny mini at the edge and the tip. This baby is super thin. Weight and dimensions can vary a little bit. This one's 122 grams or 4.3 ounces. That's a light knife for 210mm. The handle is it's oval. It's fairly thin. It's light, but you can see it's a multi-layer construction with cherry, maple, and walnut. Really cool looking handle. Again, a fairly thin handle, which makes it lighter, which is important because the balance point, this is a thin blade, so that brings the balance point back to a good spot for a pinch grip. So there's your balance point. For me, that's just about right on the money for a pinch grip. So this is a really nimble little light blade for being bigger. So it feels much lighter than you would expect. So that handle, while kind of thin, is just about right from the point of view of that. Nice fit and finish on the handle. You might want to seal it up with something. It's kind of a raw wood. You could definitely maybe put something, think about sealing that maybe a little bit. It looks like they've got a pretty good seal job where it comes into the tang into the handle, but you might think about sealing that handle just to keep the moisture out of it, whatever your favorite product might be. As far as dimensions go, these can vary a little bit. This one is right about 210 millimeters from the edge on the money, or about 8¼ inches. Overall length, about 350 millimeters, or 13.8 inches. And then the spine thickness, again, pretty thin, got a little bit of stiffness in the back half. Front half's a little bit less stiff because it's so thin, but I got about 2 millimeters at the back, and then 1.7 millimeters thick halfway down. Then it pretty much holds that and starts to thin out and gets like really skinny at the tip. That baby is super skinny at the tip. And then it's also very thin. I haven't seen a knife this thin at the edge in a while, or the tip. So that baby is skinny. So this is going to ghost through product. You're going to sacrifice a little bit of robustness at the edge, but it's going to ghost through stuff really nicely. Let's get our beauty shot here. So again, this is one of the thinner knives I've seen at the edge and tip in quite a while. Oh, let's see what's going to work best here. I guess we'll do that. This one's going to be a little tricky. You can see the finish marks on it. Goes vertical. So on the right side of the blade, you've got some embossed etched kanji and name there. Here's your cladding. Here's your core steel. You can see that cladding line. It's there. It's kind of faint, but it is there. Here's the left side of the blade. See some fingerprints, of course, but there's your cladding, core steel. They've polished the spine a little bit and rounded the corners just a little. They've done some polish, nice polish on the back, a little bit of rounding on the corners, not a ton, but there's no sharp edges there. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's decently sharp, but you could get it much sharper. I will say it's so thin at the tip and the edge, you're going to have to kind of be a little gentle in sharpening so you don't flex the blade while you sharpen it. So this isn't going to not respond well to heavy-handedness and pushing hard when you sharpen it, just because you're just going to have flex there because it's so thin. But this thing should be an absolute laser. We did balance point. Let's look at the cutting edge. Again, this baby's just light. It's deceptively light for the size. Alrighty, so let's take a look at this guy on the cutting board. Got a nice smooth profile right into a good stop at the back, so that part of the blade is flat, so it just kind of floats into the flat part. The tip, digging in about right there. You could tweak the tip a little, last couple millimeters or so on a sharpening job, maybe upsweep it a little if you wanted to. But that tip's going to dig in about right there. So medium to small stuff, you could rock pretty nicely. It'll chop very nice at the back. Tip draws are not bad at all. You don't have to raise the handle too high because of that. But pretty versatile profile for that. So if you're looking for something all stainless, Ginsan G3 is a very good kitchen steel. Something really thin, interesting, light package, cool handle. It's a neat knife. This is the Shigeki Tanaka Majiro Ginsan Gyuto 2 10mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.